Hello, welcome back to another week of RPA Dance. I really hope everybody had a fun week last week with it being bank holiday, and hopefully you all enjoyed that fantastic weather we had. So this week is going to be a lot of you doing stuff for you rather than me being on the camera and teaching you more, because I just feel like it's going to be a bit of a brain overload otherwise if I just keep teaching new things. So the only thing we are learning more this week is the dance we started last session, where it's the one to Milk and Honey, the one that starts with the swings, but I'll go through that music and things later just in case you cannot remember what I'm on about and you're clueless of just whether I've been babbling on or not. So that's okay. So this week I would really like you to do your normal warm-ups. So I'm just looking at the lesson plan. So you've got your foot warm-up, which is brushes to feel. So it's the one where we do some like points of our toes, we do some like plies to warm up our feet and quads as well. So if you can go through that, fantastic please. So it's in first position and then we go out to second position and we do something slightly different, where we're like doing lunges and things. Hopefully you remember that. If you don't, go back to some of the previous videos where I've broken it down. You can do those rather than doing it by yourself and not sure of what you're doing. And then the other one is your back warm-up, which is one where I taught some of it. So it starts with like rolls down, and then there was a little bit where you were supposed to do it and then you were supposed to come back to doing my bit again, where it starts with the rolls down, rolls up. I think we do like some head rolls, some shoulders, so warming up our backs as well. So it's really important to make sure we are doing those warm-ups and not just doing all the creative and fun class bits, just because you will hurt yourself if we're not warming up properly. So please make sure you're doing them. So once you've done your warm-ups, come back to me and then I will explain the 2 tasks that I've got you to do for this week. Hello. So this week we are continuing with some creative things that we've already started but we're adding into them. So the first one is our adaptation of the Swan Lake. So a couple of weeks ago I asked us to watch a video of it was like a contemporary style of Swan Lake, and it was 4 counts of 8, I think it was. Yeah, so it's 4 counts of 8, and we've been doing a few different things to just change it up a little bit. All I want you to do this week is just practice what you've already got and record it with 2 different pieces of music. And if possible, I'd like them to have 2 completely different beats. So if you've got a faster one, absolutely fine. If you've got one that's a bit of a strange beat, so if it's, you know, in 3s or in 9s, like we've done with a different piece of our music, which I'll come to in a minute, you can. Or it could just be, if you've just got 2 favourite pieces of music, why don't you try them to those? I just want to see the movement with different types of music, because there's so many of you. We're going to have a range of different music ideas and different styles, and it'll hopefully show you how the same piece of movement can look really different with 2 pieces of music. So if you can video those for me, that'd be fantastic, just because I really want to see what we've been up to, and just then I can give you a little bit of feedback as well. So, you know, if there's more that you could emphasize or something, I can actually give it back to you, because I'll have videos to be able to see you guys doing it. So that's your first creative task. Not too difficult, because hopefully you've already got all the material. You've just got to find 2 pieces of music that you like, try it out with both of them. If you end up trying it with more than 2 pieces and then getting it down to 2 that you love, that's fine by me. But yeah, it's just about exploring different pieces of music with what we've already got. The second creative task was the one where we started with the spots. So I had 4x4, so it was 16 spots on my floor, and I taught you something which was like a nut in 9 counts. So it was to this piece of music, just so you've got it. This one. So it's the 9 counts one. I count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So hopefully you remember that piece of music. So it's the one where we did like jumps and like outs and whatnot. So I taught you an original version and then taught you my own version, which we'll just call A. And then you should hopefully have 2 of your own version of these, where you adapted and changed the movement from the original from just jumps and hops into movements. So for example, instead of mine being hop hop, I did like an arm over, arm over. Hope you remember those. Again, go back to the previous lessons if you're not 100% sure, because it's all on there. So you should now have 4 versions. I would like you to just write them down and number them 1 to 4. It doesn't matter whether you know, number 1 is the original or number 4 is the original, it doesn't matter. Just number them 1 to 4 so you've got 4 pieces of paper in your hand. I would then like you to screw them up, put them into a bowl, so you've got 4 pieces of paper in the bowl, and you're just going to pick 2 out. And these are now your 2 that you're going to use. So I don't know what 2 you've picked out. Please don't cheat and put 1 back just because you don't like that version. It's just got to be random, and it doesn't matter whether you love it or not. It just needs to be two of the versions we've got. So for example, if I had version A and B, which would be the version that I taught, and then one of my adapted ones, these are the 2 that I'm going to use, and it now becomes an 18 count piece of a dance. So you've got an 18 count phrase. So it seems a bit weird because we usually count in 8s, but just go with it because it's a different piece of music. So what I'm going to do now, and you're going to roll your dice for me. Not roll your dice, you're going to keep that piece of paper and pen, and you're going to write down these 4 numbers because I'm going to roll dice. So I need you to write down, there's 4 different things. So the first one, if you write this down for me, I'm just going to roll it, is number 5. So if you can write down number 5 for me. So number 5 is how many counts you are now going to pause for. So you've got a whole mini phrase, and at some point in that phrase you've now got to pause for 5 counts. It doesn't matter whether it's at the beginning, the end, in the middle, wherever. You get to choose, but you need to pause for 5 counts for me. So make sure you've got that written down. So the next number I need you to write down is 4. So number 4. So this is the 4th movement in each 9. So you're going to have your 4th movement and your 8 no, not your 8th movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count. And 13. That was hard because I'm so used to counting 8s. So your 4th movement and your 13th movement, so hopefully that makes sense, are your movements that you're going to need for the next little bit. So make sure you've written down your 4th movement and your 13th movement. And what you're going to do with those is you are going to repeat them 2 times each. And it doesn't matter where you repeat them. You could repeat them one after the other. So if my 4th movement was this, I could literally just go 1, 2. Or if I wanted to repeat it, 1, and then maybe put my pause in there, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. Yeah, or it could be that you just repeat it somewhere else in the dance. It doesn't matter where. So it can either be repeated straight away or somewhere else in the dance. But they're your 2 movements you now need to repeat somewhere. And then the very last thing, so the very last number I need you to write down is 1. So you now need to change one of your movements to be on the floor. So it's entirely up to you how you do that, but it needs to be on the floor somehow. So yeah, so we should have your first number is how many counts you need to pause for. Your second number is the 4th and the 13th movements in your phrase. The next number was how many times you're going to repeat it. And then the very last number we've just written down is the number of moves you now have to change to be done on the floor. So that's your 2 creative tasks this week. So the first one was to do with Swan Lake. This one's to do with changing up the 9 count phrases that we've done. So once you've done them, come back and I'm going to start teaching a mini dance for you on the floor. Have fun! Okay, hello. So the next part of our class is the floor warm-up. Well, it's not really a warm-up, it's going to be a dance. So what you'll need to do is make sure you've got enough room, enough space, so I don't really have enough space still. So if you can find a big space, so if you want to maybe wait until the weather's really good, you can go into the garden, or if you're super lucky you've got, you know, a big space that you can use, then make sure you've moved everything out the way, because the very first thing we're going to need to do is swing our legs, and then after that I'm going to try and do things so I stay in frame, but I would like you to be able to do the movements properly. So just in case you've forgotten what the song is and you're not 100% sure what I'm talking about, it's the Milk and Honey one. So I'm going to play a little bit of it for you, and then I'll show you what the album looks like, just so you can see it. But it will be on the Spotify playlist that's under my name, and I've also put it on a YouTube playlist. So if you just go onto the Word document, then the link to the YouTube playlist will be on there, as well as my name for Spotify, so you can search me and find the playlist that I've made for us. So yeah, this is the song. So hopefully you remember it. This is the, once it focuses properly, this is what the album cover looks like. Oh, is it going to focus at all? Maybe, maybe not. So it's kind of like weird squiggly lines. Ah, there you go. So that's what it looks like weird squiggly lines, and then as you can see it's called Milk and Honey by Y Oak. So the very first bit of our dance, there are like 8 heavy beats at the beginning. We're going to do nothing for those at the moment. You're just going to either freestyle it, or you can just lay there. But the first thing we do is when you hear like a in the music, and it's after about 8 beats, and that's how you'll know that our swings are going to start. So I'm going to do it sat up just so you can kind of see it easily, and then I'll do it led down. So what you're going to need is flat part of your foot on the floor, and your back will be on the floor as well, so you'll be completely laid down with your knees facing upwards, and then you're going to drop one of your knees, and then you're going to swing up the other one like this. So I'm doing my right over my left, but if you want to do left over right, so you're mirroring me, that's okay. So you're going to go 1 up, 2 up, 3, and on 3 it kind of swings all the way around, so you sit up. And what I would like is for you to just think about someone kind of pulling your head up a little bit so that your back is straight, so that we see this angular move kind of shape, so that I don't know if you can kind of see it, but like here there's a nice little angle, and then it comes back up again to another nice straight lines. If you can also hear while I'm talking, when I do it, you should be able to hear my feet moving across the floor, and that is because my feet aren't coming off the floor. It's like you're drawing shapes on the ground. So that is my feet moving. Yeah, so it's, imagine you've kind of put paint on the edges of your toes and the edges of your feet, so that's what's going to leave a mark on the floor. So we do that 3 times. So 1 and 2 and 3, and then on that third one it's going to go all the way around, because it's really got to give you some oomph to sit up. On 4 we go 5, and you just kind of bring it up, so you go down, you don't have to go all the way down, just a little bit, and back up to that nice straight position. And then we're going to, you've got 2 options here. From here you can go straight into your backwards roll, or you can add another move in, so you go up onto your toes. But what you will need to do is you're going to have to do it quite quickly, so it kind of goes round, up, to then give you that oomph to go over. So I'm just going to show you the backwards roll, because I do want it to end stood up. So you may need to practice these backwards rolls, because what you'll need to do is as you go over you have to tuck your toes under so that you end in crouch, because from there we'll then do a movement to get stood up. So if I just show you it from the sitting position, so I'm sat on my bottom at the moment, all you're going to do is kind of lift your feet over, and then your toes have tucked under, so my toes are under here. So if I do it slightly this way, you might be able to see as well. So if I'm sat up, I'm going to come over, and then up to there. So I'm on a crouch. The kind of, if you're really good at backwards rolls, what I would really like you to do is try and push your legs up a bit more so it makes a shape, so it's not just all inwards but it kind of goes like a windmill, because I know some of you are going to be quite good at that. So that comes on counts 1, 2, 3. I'm going to give you 3 counts, 4 counts. I'll be generous. 4 counts, because then that'll give everybody that needs to do it from your knees instead over the top. I'm not gonna lie though, guys, it's probably easier to do it from your bottom because you have like you have the whole leg to swing up and over, whereas when you're kind of already in that crouch, the only thing you can do is just trust that you're gonna fall back down from that crouch. So yeah, let's do that little bit with the music. This is where you're doing nothing. So you'll be led down, and then we go swing, up, swing, up, swing, all the way round, down, up, over, 2, 3, 4. So you've got 4 counts. I think that's plenty of time. So if you can do it faster than that, then please do it faster than that. Because the next movement, once you've kind of got to this crouch, you're going to step up and over and then down. So the whole movement from the crouch going the sitting to the over the roll crouch standing up is like this. Over, up, round, down. So I don't have a lot of room, so I'm kind of really conscious that I'm going to smack something. So if you've got lots of room, that will start to flow a lot better. So the next part is round, down. He then says something about his eyes to see. So from here, because your knees are bent and your hands are on like your thighs, you're just going to go flick down up to your eyes. So I'm going to bring you up a little bit so you can see me. Hello. So you've gone round, down. You're going to flick, and it's like a flick of your like, you know when you got wet hands, so you just kind of do this with them. It's like that, but you just do one. So it's like a flick, and all you do is you bring your foot up, so it's flexed like this. So we're not pointing off it this time, we're flexing it, so the bottom of your foot is kind of seen by everyone who was stood in front of you. So I'll just speak through it so you've got the timing on that. This is where you do nothing. And swing, 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 round, lay down, sit up, over, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. So it's like a to see. Now this is where being able to do that backwards roll a little bit quicker will be better, because you'll then have more counts to be able to do the here, down, flick, up. So if you can start working on that backwards roll to the stand up being, say, 3 counts, that gives you an extra count to do, you know, this, and catch your breath before you have to go here, because at the moment it will go fast up to C, whereas it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 instead of and 8. Hopefully that makes sense. So the next bit, this is where you're over, down, drop, round, down. So from there, drop, round, and as it comes down, your left foot is going to step out, so you become so you look like you're in a lunge like this here. So you've kind of changed your facing again back to where we would have been starting. So we just go from this to C. This is to C, drop, round, here, kick, down. So it's nice and slow. Kick, down, but that's because I want to see these shapes. It's not because we're being lazy daisies. So from the 2C, drop, and I really want it to be like a heavy drop. Drop, round, drop, switch, drop. Yeah, so it's really nice heavy beats. In a minute we're going to go more with like that gooey feeling of his singing rather than the boom, boom of the percussion. Gone too far back now. See, drop, round, down, you step round, drop. 6, 7, 8, 4. Okay, just checking out the timing right. So that'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait 8, and then you have another 8 counts. So this again is really heavy. I'm just gonna put my hair up so you can see my face. The weird bun's coming out, guys. Okay, so you've kind of dropped here. The next thing you do, you have to circle your right, I keep remembering you might be mirroring me, your right leg around with your right hand. So you're down like this and you go up, down, and it's the same move as we did in Lovely. So we kind of went here, push. It's that kind of movement where you go like round, push. So you go round, 2, 3, 4. So it's the same shape as what we did in Lovely, where we kind of did like some weird angles. I'm going to move you up a little bit more again. Cool. So you've gone 8, 1, 2, round 3, 4, wait 5, 6, you then drop 7, and I want it to be like it's pulling you down. 7, 8. Hopefully we got that, and hopefully you could see that without my hair being everywhere. So we've gone 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, wait 5, wait 6, drop, drop. And if it makes it easier to do your drops, bend your knee as well, because I really want it to feel like someone's like dragging you down. If you've ever kind of like played in the pool and things, and you know when you're like pushing each other down, that sensation of someone going whoo with you, or if you've ever been on like a really scary roller coaster, that kind of sensation where like your tummy just drops, it's that kind of thing, like a whoo, and that's what I want in there. So let's just go through that with the music together. So laying down for me. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. We swing 1. We swing our leg 2, 3, up, down, sit up, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, drop, round, 2, 3, 4, wait, wait, drop, drop. Don't know if I like those drops, but we'll keep them in for now. If someone can think of a better idea to them drops, then please do. We don't have to do the wait, wait, drop, drop. If you've got 4 counts that you'd like to kind of substitute into there, please let me know so we can do something there. So the next bit is singing. Not us singing, him singing, and I'll sing. That's where we do our drop, drop. He sings. No, he doesn't. Now he sings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really easy to keep the beat to this because there's a really heavy, strong, you know, regular beat in this, but you can kind of dance through it. So once we've gone drop, drop, we are going to do a body roll. 1, 2, and you're going to step back onto your left leg. So I'm going to bring you down slightly just so you can see. So from the drop, drop, you go 2. So I'm just going to show it to the side so you can see. 1, 2, we twist, 3, 4. So I want this to be really nice and soft. Soft, definite, up. So bum, bum. Here we're then going to nick our movement from bad guy, this stuff, but I'm going to change it so it goes here, 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 up. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So you've really got to make that next movement like it flows through the next beat, because it'll come round through. Ooh, stop. And don't forget to spot. So that goes to 1. So let's just go through that bit together. Just checking the time. So what we done? Drop, drop. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So nice and fast. 1. From there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 7, 7 beats to go. You've turned 1. You're then going to do a high release. So you know we've done this before, but you're not putting your arms in. So you're going to lead with your chest. 1. Oh, sorry, that's on 2. So you've turned 1, 2, 3, 4. So nice and soft again. Soft. Jump, down, definite. So we're playing around now with mixing in a little bit of melty movement. So we've turned 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go, I think I am going to put one of them in. I haven't done one yet, so I think I've done pretty well to get this far without having to put some of this stuff in. You're going to go, once you've come up 4, in, so it comes in, out, like you're scooping ice cream. Scoop, scoop, forward. So we scoop, scoop, and it's like you're drawing an 8 or an infinity, or like in front of you. So you'll kind of scoop it, forward, catch. But as you catch, this hand is going to come out with it. So we've gone up 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we do it again. We've gone turn 1. I've forgotten it. Who knows what it was? It'll come to me in a minute. 1. Ah, it was high release. Oh my goodness, without you guys it's really hard to just remember what I'm doing, because I don't teach it and then have someone else to help me remember again. So it goes, you've turned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, change timing, 6, we come 7 and 8. So it's the movement again from, it was like one of our love pieces where we kind of did like a cool bit. We're only going up to there today, so don't panic guys. So let's go from the like ripple out. So it goes, that's gone drop, drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Hopefully you've got that. Let's try it together with the music, and then that's us done for this week. Make sure you leg down. 5, 6, 7 and 1 and 2, 3, round, lay down, sit up. We go over, 2, 3, 4, round, push. We wait, drop, drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We wait there. Fabulous. So hopefully we've now all got that. If you haven't got it, it's okay, just keep going over it. But now what I would like you to do is try and play around with the timing of that. So these are super slow. So instead of it being 1, 2, 3, 4, could it be 1 and 2 and 3? Yeah, so maybe change it up a bit so that it's not so like boom, boom, and it just feels really heavy, that actually we can find ways to play around with it. So I'd really like you to video it once you've learnt it, played around with the timing a little bit, just so I can see what kind of things we've come up with, because it'd be really great to just see if we can mix up all of our different ideas. And then if you can video that for me, I can have a look at them hopefully by next week's class. So yeah, have a really good week guys, and I will see you next week. Bye!